hello. How are you guys doing today? Uh, it's been a nice couple of days. It's been a little bit chilly outside. It's been like -5, I think. Yeah, it's been like -5. Honestly, to be quite honest, it's kind of cold as we're drawing closer to Christmas. We're really gonna get that like white Christmas that people in Toronto have been missing out on. It was because of me. When I arrived, I was like, yo, y'all are gonna receive snow this Christmas. People are like, bruh, even though you're a sexy, beautiful individual, you can't do that. I was like, shit, nothing's too hard for me, bruh. Nothing's too hard for me. Then basically, I've been making it snow ever since then. No, it wasn't me. It was my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But yeah, yeah. But anyways, welcome back, you guys. It's been a nice last couple of days. You guys have been feasting on the previous video that I posted. I'm so happy to see you guys actively watching my stuff. So much so that we actually got like 1.1k views in total. That's a blessing. Thank you guys. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to like watch the videos. And I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And I hope you guys would stick around more so we can you and I can build together. We can we can bounce off of each other. I'm gonna rein in on the freakiness, no more talking about booty chicks and things like that, but eventually you all are still gonna hear it. I'm not completely scrapping that. That's my entire thing. But welcome back, you guys. Today was more or less gonna be like a spontaneous kind of view. But I think maybe I've kind of settled into the kind of content that I really like. And that is just me telling you all stories, or like telling you guys about my interests. That's just commentary. I am gonna be posting an ASMR video soon, and I really want to see how that is gonna go. Because I really liked how the first ASMR video that I posted turned out. It wasn't bad. It wasn't weird. It was actually pretty decent. Y'all really liked it, and I'm like, okay, shit. Might as well keep going. And eventually, I'm still just gonna find time to just sit down and record. But for now, we're gonna hear stories about my past, And onto that specific topic, we're gonna go into today's video, and that is more or less like a story about, yes, of course, J Daddy. I'm narcissistic like that. We're gonna be talking about myself all the freaking time. I don't give a shit what you guys think. You guys be like, oh my god, he's talking about himself again. Oh, I love this, but he should switch it up a little bit. I don't care. I don't care. You guys don't own me. I own you. Yeah. Yeah. Daddy owns you. There's nothing you can do about it. Not a single thing. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna be talking about school, Even though I am a 21-year-old person, going to 22, it's kind of crazy to think about, bro. Because like, yo, it legit just feels like as if I turned 17, like a couple of days ago. Imagine people who are older. And this is not a diss to people who are older. It's just like, yo, just imagine people who are like older than me. If I feel this way, imagine what they feel like, It's just crazy. But like, time just seems to be going by fast. Ever since COVID, things have just been zooming. So much so that like it's coming around the time when it to be like 3 years since I've been in Canada, and that's just like insane. It really doesn't feel like that, but that is exactly what it is. It's been almost 3 years since I've been inside this country. But yeah. We're just gonna go a little bit, we're just gonna have like a chill vibe today, and we're gonna be talking about school. And in particular, my school. A lot of people have different upbringings, Some of us, we're chilling, Some of us that grew up here, y'all like got on a school bus, and y'all were able to like get to school, hang out with your friends. If you guys fucked up, you guys get detention. That's not the case in Nigerian schools, If you fuck up, you're getting your ass beat, you know. And I keep saying this, you know, it's nothing new. But like, if you mess up, you're gonna get your ass beat, you know. I can remember an instance when back home teachers would get mad at you for like the like simplest of things. I can remember this story is kind of fucked up now that I think about it. And the guy that actually ended up beating the beating was, I don't even know what the fuck was going on, if I'm being quite honest. You know. So basically, we're all in class, you know. I didn't do this because I was a quiet ass nigga. I was just chilling on my own. You know, aura farming before aura farming was a thing. Then we're not basically talking with this male teacher. Like, you know, people normally fuck with this guy. You know, he's pretty chill. He's a chill guy. You know? Then, out of nowhere, I don't know what happened. You know, there was always this guy that we usually would like not really make fun of. Honestly, people were bullies, bro. Shit, I can't lie. People were bullies in that school, bro. Now that I think about it. But like, anyways, it's just banter. At the end of the day, it's banter. It's not like serious bullying. It's more or less just like banter, you know. So I remember this time when a teacher ended up like really getting mad because of students that he was teaching on the side, like basically like a tutor, like a lesson teacher, you know. Basically, he found out that this student stood up and hit another student because the guy kept talking, you know. And putting it into like retrospect, he shouldn't have flared up the way he did. That was OD. That was crazy. You know? That was crazy. Because it was just the kind of thing where it was just like students who were in that class who really knew about it. And it was just for like shits and giggles, to be quite honest. So I remember the time when everybody was hyping. It was like, you know, this kind of thing where things start off like hee 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 ha ha, like, oh shit, this is so funny, bro. Hee wow, that's crazy. You know, that's legit how we started off this teacher. Then I don't even know how the thing even started. It just came up in conversation that this specific student that the teacher was tutoring basically hit the guy. And at first, everybody was like, yo, haha, it's jokes, bro. It's jokes. The teacher was like, oh, are you serious? Because like a couple of seconds prior, this guy was laughing with all of us. Like it was all jokes. You know, everybody was kicking and ha-haing, and there was no issue. There wasn't an issue. Everything was chill. But then boom pow, next thing you know, the moment this nigga said, are you serious? Everybody was like, yes! So niggas in the back were screaming, yes! That's exactly what he did! I was there, bro! This nigga turned around and bitch slapped this student. I'm like, yo, like what's going on here, bro? What the fuck? What's going on here? Because keep in mind, the switch was crazy. Because legit was just chilling. You know, everybody was laughing. Everybody was having a good time. Nobody was mad. But out of nowhere, this nigga just started, like, he basically, oh, get up from your seats. Oh, so all this time that I thought this boy was gentle, this nigga's a crash out. What are his parents gonna think? I was like, yo, it's not that serious, bro. It was like a funny kind of like joke thing, you know? Because it's like, oh yeah, even though the guy was quiet, like the student was like a quiet guy, he ain't asked for no problems. It was just like, yo, like shut the fuck up, bro. Like you're talking too much. Basically, he ended up getting his ass beat. And I was like, yo, that was OD. Everybody, like, you know, that kind of thing where you get bitch slapped and it's like, then everybody else is like looking for things that were never lost in the first place. And it's like, yo, what in the Davy Jones like locker is this shit, bruh? It's like, how the hell could this have happened? So to me, honestly, it's like, yo, okay, shit, that's crazy. That's just one of the many things that happened at that point in time. Because like, why the hell? Why the hell? Why the hell did these things even happen? You know? This guy just got like bitch slapped in front of everybody. Imagine if the girl that he was crushing on was inside that class. And bro got bitch slapped. Like that. And they're like, bro can't even do shit. Bro can't even do shit, bro. Damn. Thinking back to this, it's just like, yo. Oh my god, that's OD. That's a little bit too far. I'll be quite honest, man. I can't be lying. Anyways, I like that's just one of the many stories of the weird things that just happened. Like for me, the reason why it stands out so much in my mind is because like the guy was like literally it was all jokes, it was all fun and games. Like even the fact that the guy hit this other student was all fun and games. You know, it wasn't that serious, bro. It really wasn't. So it was just like, yo, this kind of things you don't see them like universe. Like you don't see them here, man. You might, to be quite honest, but like just the absurdity of like the situation. How you gonna get bitch slapped? Because anyways, I digress, you know? I honestly digress. I digress. But still, it's still just a crazy ass situation. Another time, it's like one of the major things that you can also just kind of like get from like school is like just regular drama or free periods. Free periods are basically just like situations where, let's say you don't have, for example, let's say only specific people in that class have that class. Then usually, because there's only like, let's say in a group of 20 students, there was more than 20, but we're just going to use 20 just for the sake of example. Let's say 20 students inside that class were doing a specific like kind of like subject. Because in Nigeria, we do a lot of different subjects. Even when you're in like primary, even when you're like high school, you do like sometimes like 16, between like 10 to 16 subjects, depending on which level you are and depending on your course load. But usually in the beginning portions of like high school, you're gonna be doing like 15 to 16 courses. All of them are layered, you know. So let's say in this case, you're one of the few who are not really doing this specific class. You don't have to be there. Or in this case, because majority of the students are not in that specific class, then the ones who are supposed to do the class will leave the class and they'll go somewhere else. Or vice versa, depending on which situation you're in, you know? And I can remember times when like it's a free period, you know, you don't have to do anything. Then there's always one of these teachers who's like, yo, we are behind on our curriculum. What's wrong with you people now? Can't you guys not just sit down for once and study? I'm like, nigga, like bro, we've been studying, bro. Like let us be children. Let us have some fun, bro. It's not that deep, you know? Ain't nobody gonna be out here gonna be like, you know what? I wanna do drugs. I wanna do drugs and kill niggas. Like, ain't nobody gonna see all that. We're just chilling inside the class, you know. But granted, we can get like a little bit loud. Because the specific class that I was in, we're a little bit loud, you know. We're like a loud group of people. And we usually have fun inside the class, to be quite honest. We're like the envy of all the other classes. So basically what I mean by class is that we're separated into 4 different classes. So the science class is separated into 2 because of the amount of people who end up going into science class. So it's science class, commercial, and arts class. So going based off of the names, your curriculum is gonna match that specific class, you know. So if you're in science class, you're gonna be doing predominantly physics, chemistry, biology subjects, further mathematics, things like that. Mathematics was for everybody, regardless. Like things like further mathematics, you don't really have to do it if you're in the other like commercial, or actually if you're in the medical, commercial, or arts class. Same thing with commercial classes, mostly like bookkeeping, civic education, marketing, and things like that. Arts, you can kind of like tell like literature and things like that. So I digress. For us, inside our class, we're pretty like chill people. You know, that's where majority of like the really popular folk were. So it's not in this situation where you didn't really have to do too much to have fun inside that specific class, you know. And growing up, it was just such a crazy kind of thing, you know. Thinking back, is like we're all just kids, you know. We're just having fun, but niggas really were just trying to bring niggas down because free periods is the time. But okay, yeah, either you can sleep or you can get like gist or gossips, you know, about things that are going on, or you're just like shooting the shits with like friends. You know, this is your time to like relax and have some fun. But then you don't have all of these teachers. You know, I'm a couple of thousand miles away. You guys can touch me if you guys see this video. I don't give a fuck. You know, but like, it's this kind of thing where as you're there, you're chilling, you're just relaxing. Next you know, they come into the class like, oh, y'all are having a free period, right? Tithe? You know what I'm gonna do? They're gonna be rubbing their hands together like, no, bro, we don't want this. We're just chilling. And imagine if you had like back-to-back classes almost all day. And then this one single period, you just wanna like relax. You're like, no, fuck no. Y'all niggas gonna get buried in knowledge and science. I'm like, bro, nobody gives a shit, bro. We just wanna. And the crazy thing about it is like most of the people who ended up going into like the science engineering class, niggas ain't even do shit. Niggas ain't even really do shit, to be quite honest. You know, it's not from dissing, it's not disrespecting nobody. It's like most of us won't even go into subjects that are like that. You feel me? Or even if you graduate from things like that, most of us are not even gonna use that certificate for shit. So it was just like unnecessary stress for no fucking reason. Why? Why have we done this? You know, I remember when school, now that I'm done, it's just so much that I can talk about. And to be quite honest, I'm gonna go into a series because there's so much that I want to talk about, but I really just want to keep the video like shorter, not like 20 or 20 something minutes, you know. But to be quite honest, thinking back to those times, it's like all of these things were necessary, you know. They really were. I don't get why we had to like struggle so much just so we can just like attend classes. Like it's not that deep, you know. Eventually, what was not so crazy is that they will say, oh, you have to study for your WAEC. If you don't study for your WAEC, you will fail. Same niggas are gonna go into the class and be like, you know, the answer is A. Like, bruh, like, so what's not the point of all of that bullshit? But I think maybe it's just the Nigerian culture, you know? It's this kind of thing like prepared for the unexpected, even though at the end of the day, you don't really need it. But it's just a different kind of vibe, if I'm being quite honest. It's just quite different. So, but yeah, to be quite honest, I learned a lot of things and I'm happy that I went through those things, but like I said, most of these things were unnecessary. They didn't need to happen, but they did, and I'm not complaining. You learn a little bit things, you learn a little bit about like the world, and you just learn like social skills. It kind of helps everybody in general. But yeah, I'm gonna be talking a lot more on this specific topic, but have a great rest of your evening, have a great rest of your morning, and have a great rest of your night. You know, keep evolving, and I'll see you guys in the next video.